All right, now to change pace, we're going to go to Granite Power. We've got Stephen DeBell, who's a managing director. Now we're in the home stretch, so we're getting very close to the final networking session. So without further ado, please welcome Stephen to the stage.
Good afternoon, and thank you, everybody. I'm here to talk Granite Power. We've currently got a raising going on to raise about $3 million. The setting for the business is the energy sector. Energy generally, and electricity specifically, is an increasingly costly product that people are acquiring. Grid supplies, as most of you would be aware, are forecast to be uncertain, which means brownouts. And there's also the climate change issue, which everyone would be familiar with. What we're talking about here is within that electrical energy sector is there's great scope for monetising waste heat, taking industrial recovered waste heat and turning it into money. There's very little hard data on the scale of the industry, but if you take the gensets, diesel generating motors mounted on a concrete slab typically, or small gas turbines, or compressor stations on gas pipelines, each of those represents about a $1 billion market for capturing the waste heat and using that waste heat to generate more power. If you take gensets on mine sites or remote towns or at islands, they're the low-hanging fruit, no doubt about that, where we're looking at offering savings to people of around $300 per megawatt hour or about $3 per kilowatt hour. And that means about a 2-year payback in terms of the cost of the plant versus the return. The existing organic Rankine cycle technology, which is well established and is used for industrial scale heat recovery in some places, it provides a well understood framework, and our technology, which is called GRANEX, is a very small evolution from that conventional organic Rankine cycle technology. As for the future, there's upside in using GRANEX for solar thermal power generation and for geothermal opportunities. Looking at GRANEX itself, it's a step out from the conventional ORC technology in 3 areas. It uses supercriticality for its working fluid, and that means keeping the working fluid that drives the turbine permanently in steam phase, in colloquial terms. The other thing we're doing is using different working fluids for different temperature ranges. So we'll have one working fluid for a relatively low temperature, another fluid which performs better at a slightly higher temperature, and another one at a higher temperature again. Lastly, we're using heat regeneration, capturing some of the waste heat within our circuit to more efficiently utilise the heat and generate more power. The product has been developed with a partnership with the University of Newcastle, which is a great body to work with, I might add, and we've had federal government assistance by way of a READY grant to help with the technology development and review the progress. What we get out of this is a much higher conversion efficiency than what you get with conventional ORC power, typically about 40% higher. GRANEX, fortunately, is very simple, it's very reliable, uses standard industrial components and materials, there's nothing exotic or unusual, and standard fabrication techniques. And net after parasitic loads, etc., you're getting a 10 to 20% uplift in useful energy available. The little diagram at the bottom there really summarises the situation for a particular industrial site, or in fact for the economy as a whole, where about 100 units of energy get put in, but about 40 units of work actually come out with the blue arrow. What we're doing with GRANEX is tapping into part of the waste heat stream, only part so far, to give you a worthwhile uplift in the net work or net useful energy you're getting out. GRANEX means efficient power. What it delivers is a transformational change regarding low to medium temperature heat being utilised to generate power. It also gives you zero carbon power. Recovered waste heat from industrial sites is our prime objective at the moment. Geothermal and solar opportunities are something for the future. Using standard materials and components, it's a global market. It's a scalable market, there's no doubt about that, and it's insurable. We've got insurance offers for plant or project completion risk and performance risk from one of the world's largest insurance companies. What we're delivering to people is low-cost electricity. For some applications, up to a 60% increase in net power from a given heat resource, with only as modest 10 to 15% increase in costs. So there's a very significant reduction in unit costs. Importantly, there's no fuel. Also importantly, it's designed for unattended operation, so there's no labour cost. So if you're avoiding fuel cost and labour cost, that leaves depreciation as your ongoing P&L cost, plus some maintenance every 5 or 10 years. So significant savings, very significant savings for people who use electricity, and reduced reliance on grid power or on island power sources. This is the second plant we built. It's a 100 kilowatt prototype plant. The power block is in the centre of the picture there, and that fits comfortably within a 20-foot container frame, and that would be true up to about a 5 megawatt scale. The business proposition that we're putting to our customers, and we have 3 at the moment. Firstly, savings, fairly obvious. You're saving a lot of money. It's low cost power. Second, security of supply. For some people, we've discovered the risk of loss of supplies can be catastrophic. The chemical plant we currently have as a client, for them that was the real selling point, because when they suffer a catastrophic loss of power, it's all hands to the pumps to sort of shut down the plant in an orderly way and preserve their equipment. Whereas if they can wind down gradually, because we can't replace all the power they're importing off the grid, but if they can wind down gradually, that means a big saving, especially if they can just keep the business ticking over. Thirdly, we're offering insurance regarding future energy prices. As you know, prices have been creeping up steadily. Last increase in grid prices in June, I think it was about 15 or 20% in New South Wales, and they're going to keep going up. So we're offering insurance against those increases, because the depreciation cost is a fixed cost once you've entered into it. Lastly, we're talking about zero carbon power. So as the price of REX increases or whatever the appropriate charge evolves into, that'll be fixed. You'll be avoiding it. Marketing strategy, we're focusing on recovered waste heat because it's the low-hanging fruit. We're looking particularly at modest size opportunities initially, because it means less working capital is required. It means quicker turnaround of projects and a more rapid accumulation of reference sites, which are all important for ongoing marketing. Obviously, for targeting the most attractive prospects, which means high temperature sites with high temperature waste heat and or high opportunity cost of power. Gensets are ideal for that purpose, because remote mine sites you're having to haul in diesel by truck or by rail. We're also looking for sites convenient to Sydney, Newcastle, because that's where we're based. The business proposition, we're offering either direct sales, engineering, procurement and construction contracts, and we deliver a turnkey product, or we'll build it, own it, operate it, and offer you a transfer option or a call option over the plant, or simply build, own and operate, and we'll run the plant and sell the power indefinitely. Business strategy, the core of our business is really process engineering and implementation. That's built upon the patented technology of GRANEX. But GRANEX as and by itself isn't a business. It's an understanding of process engineering and how to apply it that makes all the difference. We're following a number of channels to market, both domestically and internationally, and using different licensing agreements, and we're subcontracting out assembly and installation. Business offer I've touched on. The earnings is a mix of the earnings on engineering, typical margin 10 to 20%, and or a mixture of capturing the savings regarding the opportunity cost of power, where we're at the moment sharing that 90-20 with the customer. We've got a big pipeline of sales prospects. There's other suppliers of ORC plant in the market, but when you look at them, we've got the advantage of having superior conversion efficiency and lower unit cost, and ours is patented but uses the same components. So our cost drivers are aligned, but our profit drivers are different. Technology output, we've got an upstream alliance with a subsidiary of Vale, and Vale is helping us with marketing as well. We've also got the ongoing alliance with the University of Newcastle regarding step-out R&D, which is proving to be looking successful. We're currently seeking $3 million by converting notes. The issue price is 20 cents per note, and it converts at a 60% discount to the IPO price and our planned IPO, which will be either at the very end of this year or most likely early next year, beginning of 2013. And there's a 10% coupon on that. Application is for working capital to get the sales that we have rolling and to pay for the IPO. We've got 2 sales contracted, one's underway, one's about to get underway, when we can afford to sign the contract. And we're in the stage of tic-tacking with our lawyers and customers' lawyers regarding another contract which is verbally committed. And we have other prospects in hand. Capital structure, we've got 114 million shares on offer, and with the notes being issued, that'll represent about 12% or so of additional capital. And then there'll be the IPO on the end of that. Company highlights, just to summarise, what we're talking about is improved heat conversion technology called GRANEX. It's been developed, it's being deployed, it's simple, uses standard materials, standard components, it's patented worldwide. Core of our business is process engineering and expertise, and that's been built from a team drawn from Alstom, Austrian Energy, ABB, etc., with $1 billion worth of analogous plants already under their belt. Value proposition is low-cost energy supplied on-site, very low cost, 3 to 6 cents a kilowatt hour. Momentum, we've got initial sales. They're budgeted to be profitable. Payback periods of around 2 years for the biggest sale, somewhat more for the smaller sales, and a good pipeline. We've got international alliances. Initial earnings will come through in 2014, and they'll be fairly healthy. What we need is working capital. Please contact us at our website or via Martin Place Securities. Thank you.